Hello everyone and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria and we are unboxing our Marchetti Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, written by Lee Bursten. And so this is from 2024. I think it came out in December or something like that, but I just got it now. So this is when I'm doing my unboxing of it. But if you already have the deck, if you've worked with it, I would love to hear from you. Of course, Marchetti is a digital artist. Okay, so this is not an AI deck. And he's been around for years. And in actual fact, I think he's retired from doing decks at least on one occasion, if not more. And as is the lure of the tarot, he keeps coming back to it. But all of his stuff is gorgeous. He does tarot. He does, I've got one here. He's put out a couple of Lenormand decks, for sure. This is one of them. He put out a Kipper deck. I don't know if there's more than one, but he's put out those and or one or two, maybe probably more, Oracle decks as well. So been around for a long time. So I kind of, before I open it, kind of know a little bit of what to expect, but let's open it together and let's see what we've got. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off the cellophane. Literally just arrived this morning, and as you can probably tell, I'm just getting over a cold. I've been down for the count for a couple of days, but power through this and see where we go. Anyways, so good sized box, 2-piece hard shell box, always what we like to see. Of course, gorgeous on the front. And here we go. The tarot deck is a rich tapestry of mythology, history, and art, well suited for questions that have some psychological depth to them. Marchetti Tarot imagines the 78 cards as a collective theater ensemble, with each interaction offering an infinite number of possible plot twists. Each performance is unique and personalized as the cards explore the full range of human emotions. In many of the dazzling cards, Ciro has focused on the faces, encouraging an interactive relationship that allows the reader to get to know the characters and their stories more intimately. By inviting us to explore who they are and what they express, we can ask meaningful questions and divine answers that will illuminate our own experiences. It includes a 116-page illustrated guidebook in which Lee Bursten explores different approaches to tarot readings and offers card spreads with instructions and sample readings. All right, so let's open this up. Oof, a bit tricky to get the. Come on. Oh, these things tend to compress a little bit in shipping. So I just go like this a little bit with the box, and next time I take it on and off, it doesn't hurt the box or anything. It just loosens it up just a little bit. So here is our book. A beautiful image on the front of that one. And it is, okay, so it's a decent cardstock, but it's not in color. Don't necessarily need it in color. And let's have a look here. We've got, where'd that title page just go? I lost it. There it is. Okay. Table of contents, forward, structure of the deck, how to read the tarot, majors, minors, spreads and sample readings, and then about the author. So we've got a forward in here, structure, in case you're new to tarot. You could start with one of these decks, sure, but anyways, it does show the breakdown of that. How to read the tarot, and it's got fortune telling or divination, so that might be interesting to read. It's a little bit long. So anyways, how it works and the best uses, down to business, by the book, so you can interpret the cards just by reading the book, or you could of course intuition versus book meanings. Of course, the best way sometimes to do it, once you get a little bit of experience, is to do it both. But anyways, he's got some samples, reversals, in case you have questions about reversals. What does he say? Yeah, no, you can use reversals in this one. There are certain tarot decks out there where the deck creator has specifically created the deck not to have reversals. It doesn't mean you can't have reversals with those kind of decks, but you must set your intention before you shuffle them and put your intention into the deck as you're working with them, or you will just not get the readings that you're looking for. But this one, he's created it. If you want to use reversals, use reversals. If you don't, then don't. So here we go. So we've got description of the card and in a reading. So yeah, he's got a little bit of information on here. Let's have a quick look at his spreads. I think I saw a couple of them there. I do always like to have a look at new decks and whatever spread that the creator has put in there. Sometimes they come up with something kind of interesting. And even if you've been reading cards for a long time like I have, and I do my own spreads more often, half the time I just do everything freeform these days. But I do like to try new things, and you just never know. You might find something that you really like and you'll adopt for your own practice. Anyways, we've got the prediction spread. So 3 cards, but he's not laying them out 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, and then 3 there. Let's see what else he's got. There's a sample reading. So again, if you're newer to tarot, or if you're just learning even from scratch, he's got the sample spread there, so you can actually see how he's interpreted what cards came out for that particular spread. And there's a couple of them actually. He's got 2 sample readings in there for this particular one. He's got the star spread. Again, interesting how he's or the stair spread, I should say. Interesting how he's got it. He's got cards 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5, 6, and then 7. So interesting that we're kind of like going a little bit back and forth and a little bit up and down. So, but again, he's got what the card positions mean, and then he's got a sample in there. So there we go. Anyway, so that is the book. Let's, I'm just going to put the book right there. And so let's look at the cards. So again, the box is larger than the cards. Obviously, we've got this insert in there. And this doesn't happen with every Marchetti deck, but with a number of them, it does. But then let's face it, it happens with a few others also. I've got this one, When Women Had Wings, and it's the same kind of thing inside. So whether you carry your decks around in the box itself, or if you put them in like a bag or something like that, the cards themselves are not overly big. This is pretty much a regular tarot card size. This is the Fairy Tale Tarot that I'm comparing it with, and it's the same size. So sometimes the size of the box can be deceiving and is not matching the size of the cards within. So let me, excuse me, let me undo. There we go. All right. So now the burning question usually for everybody is the card stock. All right. Now this is US Games, I think. Yep, US Games. So the card stock, even though it's usually up to the creator, but it's usually fairly standard, as is this. All right, so it's flexible enough that if you riffle shuffle it, you can do that, no problem. And I wouldn't call them super, super flimsy, but they're not stiff either. Okay, so somewhere in the middle. Cardstock is a very personal thing to a lot of people. So what some people like, others don't. I always figure as long as I can use them and they're not going to fray on like the second or third shuffling, I'm good with it. So anyway, this one, beautiful little fan on there. So they're like a semi-gloss, I would say. They're not matte. You can see the little bit of gloss on there, but they're not high gloss either. So you don't get too much glare off of them. And that's nice. So this is the back of the card. And this is nice because whether it's upright or reverse, it's the same mirror image. So if you do use reversals in your readings, once you put them in and integrate them into your deck, you are not going to know until you flip it over if that is upright or reversed. So I like that. Maybe some people don't, but it is fairly standard practice, but you do get some decks that you can totally tell which way around it is. So let's get started. And we'll go through the major arcanas first, and then we'll go through the minors. And I'm hoping that my voice does last throughout this reading or throughout this flip through, and I think it should. So there's our first card. We've got the Fool. We've got our dog. We've got our Fool. He's actually holding up, which looks like Marseille tarot there maybe. But he's ready for some adventure. Now, some people will say that some of Marchetti's decks do look the same, okay? And some of them do, right? The Magician, for example, right? There's certain things on here that do look eerily familiar from other decks, but then there's some differences on here as well. So certainly doesn't mean that one deck is better than the other or anything like that. So, but this is our very powerful Magician who actually, his only tools on this particular card is his own hand and his own energy. We've got our High Priestess. Now, doesn't she look like a force to be reckoned with? She's really pretty. She's got like a head of candles. Interesting. So that's where the light comes through. The Empress, that was on the front of the deck, or the front of the box. Very beautiful Empress card, right? We've got all this growth and abundance. Mother Earth, right? Very creative energy on this. Beautiful, beautiful card. We've got the Emperor here as well. Now, if you've ever watched, what was the show? The Mummy? Not the remake with Tom Cruise, the first one, the better one, the one, who was in it? Brendan Fraser, that one. Doesn't this kind of look like Imhotep on that one? Anyway, Emperor, very knowing, very wise, very much in charge. Got the Hierophant, our religious gentleman on here, taking you to new heights, to new elements, but encouraging you to have faith and belief. The Lovers, isn't that pretty? Two lovers dancing on a stage, Cupid overhead dangling a heart. Beautiful. One thing that he does have, just so you know, if you are familiar with your astrology, the Hierophant is representative of Taurus, and we do have the symbol for Taurus up here. The Lover's card is Gemini, and we do have the symbol for Gemini right down there. And I missed it on the first couple, but I think we'll see that as we go through. Yes, the Chariot card right here, our master chariot driver there, and this is Cancerian energy. So we've got our sign of the crab down at the bottom. So beautiful, though. We've got our very confident chariot driver, and we've got our horses in alignment up there. Got the Strength card, Leo. So you can learn astrology as you go through if you wanted to. We've got our symbol for Leo on there, and that is the Strength card. Very beautiful card. The Hermit. Virgo, we're going in, we're soul searching. What are you putting in your lantern? What guides you on your path forward? Where are you headed? Because ultimately that's what we do when we go into hermit mode. We do the soul searching. We do some reflection, right? We take a step back from hustle and bustle, and, we kind of, really connect with our own energy. What do I really want? Where do I want to go, right? And then our path is lit. We've got our Wheel of Fortune. Again, quite very pretty. Justice, Libran energy. We've got our sword, we've got our scales. Hanged Man. No one loves getting the Hanged Man sometimes. Sometimes it's actually in your favor though, right? It's like there's not a lot happening externally necessarily, or something's, you know, you're waiting for something. Sometimes we need to learn patience, but sometimes we need to learn to let something go and allow and be in the flow, right? See the big picture. We can't do that if we're in the hustle and bustle. We've got to take a step back. Got the Death card here. It's very pretty, very purpley. Very purpley Death card, Scorpio energy. Of course, how do you know the difference between Scorpio and Virgo symbol? Because they're very similar. They both have the M, right? Is the stinger is facing outward on the Scorpio symbol. But anyways, but the Death card, rebirth, renewal, endings, beginnings, birth, death, you name it, right? This pretty card. We also do actually have a scorpion right down there. Temperance, gorgeous, Sagittarian energy, hot and cold, we bring things together, right? It's a card of moderation, patience, healing, right? Ooh, sorry. Motorcycle somewhere on the street. Got the Devil card. You know, for this guy does, I swear, the most interesting and sometimes frightening devil card depictions. They're really quite fascinating in how he does the images. Anyways, we've got a key, but the key is being held out by the devil's hand. Are you going to take the key? The devil is, you know, maybe saying that I'll give you this key if, you know, if in exchange for whatever. And the fact is you don't need to take anything from the devil because the power always lies within you anyway. A card of deception, a card of fear, a card of facing our shadow selves, a card of knowing that something has a hold over us, something controls us, right? It's also a card of temptation and seduction, right? The things that start out really good, right? But then we take one step further and now they're not so good, right? And that's where the Devil card comes out. But then we shake it all up and we let it all go with our Tower. And our Tower is sometimes a frightening experience, something sudden and unexpected. Often, though, the Tower does come in through an epiphany, through something that rocks us to our core. You might find a piece of information that you knew about. You knew it, but you didn't 100% know it. But your intuition told you it was there. And then maybe you find this information somewhere. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, your blood runs cold, your adrenaline starts to pump, and it spurs you into action, because ultimately the Tower card comes in to make us so uncomfortable. We have to get out of our comfort zone, got to let some certain things go, because we got to allow something better to come in. The Star, always beautiful, comes in bringing peace and serendipity after the chaos and the challenges that sometimes the Tower brings in. We see our future in a different way, in a different light. We've got the Moon, Pisces energy, a little bit dreamy, very spiritual, right? But it's beautiful. We can see shadows. We can't quite make out what's in the shadows. That's the whole point. Something rises from the deep. It's about our subconscious, right? The Sun, always beautiful, always vibrant, right? The energy leaps off the page with the Sun. Judgment, right? We can see the light. We're called to action. We see the truth. We make decisions with this one. And we've got the World card. We've done it. We've finished our journey. We've finished our cycle. So, beautiful. And let's quickly go through the minors here, and we'll just go through them a little bit faster. Anyways, Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Three of Wands. Four of Wands. Five of Wands. Ooh, angry. Because he looks very angry. Six of Wands. Overcome our anger. Seven of Wands. Ooh, reptilian. Look at that thing. Interesting. So Seven of Wands right there. Sometimes we are very protective in our Seven of Wands energy. Eight of Wands. And he does have, again, symbols on here representing the zodiacs. So this one, Eight of Wands, he's got linked to Sagittarian energy. You can, of course, as well use it as fire sign energy, right? Or just use the meaning of the card. We've got, where are we? The Nine of Wands. 10 of Wands. You got little chameleons at the back there. Are they chameleons? No, those aren't chameleons. those are something else. Iguanas or something maybe. Anyways, we've got the Page of Wands. Another lizard, or that one might actually be a chameleon with the eyes sticking out. Interesting. Knight of Wands. Oh, it's a dragon. The dragons growing up. We're taming our dragons, perhaps. The Queen of Wands. King of Wands. They must be dragons. Anyways, Ace of Cups. Always pretty is the Ace of Cups. We've got fish. We've got seahorses. They mate forever. Of course, we can have new love coming in there, perhaps. Two of Cups. Again, beautiful. Three of Cups. That's gorgeous. Those look like betta fish, but that actually looks like a little bit like a mermaid. But anyways, always some joyous news with that one. Four of Cups. Five of Cups. Focus on the good. Focus on the good. Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups, a lot of people do automatically jump to it's a return card. Someone's coming back into your life. And while that can be true, it is one of enjoying the present moment. It is one of tapping into our inner child. It's one of a sweet gesture. It's one of reflecting on the past, making plans for the future, but enjoying today. And we forget to do that. So sometimes we do get a sweet gesture from somebody. Sometimes we do bump into an old friend or have something from the past come up. But it is about the present moment, and it can actually have some magical qualities about it. Got the Seven of Cups. A lot of options, imagination, sometimes procrastination. Eight of Cups. Our Nine of Cups. Getting what we want. 10 of Cups. Beautiful. Dolphins. Happy ever after. Happy home. Happy family. Happy house. Page of Cups. Beautiful. The Knight of Cups. A little bit of love and romance. You got our seahorse on there. Queen of Cups. Again, gorgeous. And the Cups family does look very similar, one after the other. The King of Cups. If you want to be swept off your feet, the King of Cups is your person, that is for sure. The Ace of Swords. I love there's a dragonfly on here because this can represent a little bit of enlightenment, right? With the Ace of Swords, we get that epiphany. Sometimes we see things differently, right? Because we got a spiritual awakening going on. Two of Swords. Three of Swords. The sadness is coming through in there, right? We got a guy crying on there. Four of Swords, but now we're at peace. Five of Swords. Ooh, well, that's quite the imagery. So we've got our eagle, I think, up there, and the eagle's talons actually make up the swords. Ouch. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and then our fifth sword right there. Aquarian energy that he's got tied with that one. I'm not surprised. I'm an Aquarius sun, And most of the time very patient, very logical and whatever. I'll cut you off at the knees if you betray me, that's for sure. So anyways, actually not cut you off at the knees, just walk away, essentially. But anyway, Six of Swords. Six of Swords there. We move away peacefully. Seven of Swords. Right there. Again, Aquarian energy. Eight of Swords. Sometimes we feel trapped. Trapped in what? Fear, maybe. Nine of Swords. Our 10 of Swords. No word of a lie, right? The Swords is probably the most difficult suit in the entire deck. It's because it's our mind. It's our communication. It's our thoughts, right? And let's face it, sometimes they run away with us, right? Sometimes we think the worst. Page of Swords. Now that's a pretty card. Look at that. That's so pretty. Anyways, Knight of Swords. Sometimes rides in like a knight in shining armor, often with something to deliver. A sense of urgency sometimes with that one. Queen of Swords. And our King of Swords. Our Ace of Coins. Beautiful. Beautiful, earthy. Two of Coins. Our Three of Coins. And our Four of Coins. Our always ever pesky Five of Coins. Six of Coins. Much better with that one. Seven of Coins. I like how they did this one. I have no idea what that means. Set. Bellow. Anyway, but the coins are actually sunflowers, and sunflowers, we've got bees, we've got butterflies, and this can represent something coming to fruition for you. It can represent abundance blossoming in your lives, right? You've waited for a long time for something, and but we also assess where we're at with that one. Eight of Coins. Our ever luxurious and magnificent Nine of Coins. 10 of Coins. Our Page of Coins, always ready for something new. Gift and offer, information. Our Knight of Coins. Very slow, methodical, detailed. Our wonderfully abundant, down-to-earth Queen of Coins. And our King of Coins. So there you go. That is the Marchetti Tarot. And so, yeah, again, I would love to know if... I'll take that out of there. Oh, there we go. We'll just do that. I'd love to know if you have this already. Have you worked with it? Do you like it? What don't you like about it? But anyways, that is that deck. Very easy to work with. The symbology is actually very easy to interpret. So again, it's actually not a bad one if you are new to tarot. It does, for the most part, follow Rider-Waite-Smith. So if you know that a little bit, then you can follow this one as well. But again, this of course also gives you these little reminders as to what astrological association that it may have. And I say may, okay, because not everyone has the same viewpoint. Okay, the Queen of Swords, what one person thinks is what zodiac some people think it represents, doesn't align with other people. It is air sign though, right? So even if you just stick with those. Anyways, that's what I've got for you guys. I'd love to hear from you, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.